If you're looking for some motorcycle boots, stick around, that I would like to share with you my opinion about the boots that I'm wearing here. These are the Gaerne Sg22 or Gaerne Sg22. I've bought these boots with my own money. This is not a sponsored video. I'm not trying to sell you these boots. And the perspective that I'm going to give you here is the real user experience, okay? So there are many YouTube videos and I've watched all of them before I put so much money into these boots. And to be honest, they kind of repeat the same thing. They all mention these marketing terms and flex heel control. I don't know the names in here. I don't memorize any of this. I've been riding with these boots for about 2,000 kilometers. Of course, they've held very well so far, but that's not enough time. I do hope very much that they are going to last me a long time. One thing I can tell you for sure, because this is really noticeable for me, I have here another pair of boots. That's an O'Neill. I don't know the model, but there was an O'Neill boots. Definitely they're more on the budget side. I paid about €120, $120 for these boots. I've also ridden with the Alpine Stars Tech 7. I tried the Tech 10, but I bought the Tech 10 and I tried them. I bought it online. I tried them at home and I could not stand them. That's not the case for everybody. Okay, I'm not criticizing the Tech 10. I don't have experience with the Tech 10 because they just did not fit me well. The booty system of the Tech 10, we don't have this in here. You just put your foot straight into the boot. I prefer like this. I could not get used with this booty. I just felt that my feet were being squeezed too much to an uncomfortable level. I did not like the Tech 10, so I can compare. But comparing to the Tech 7, to the O'Neill, I've used also some not motocross styles or enduro style boots before. I've had these short boots before. This one here is by far, and I think you're going to feel that when you have it in your hands, the build quality is outstanding. There's nothing that I've owned so far that even comes close to the build quality of these boots. They are outstanding. So why did I buy these boots? And very likely, if you're searching about this model, very likely that's one of your concerns. It's the safety, right? So it's a lot to do with the safety in here. I was looking for the highest level of safety that I could get. I'm not in any competition. I'm not riding enduro. I'm not riding MX, but I have a family, children waiting for me to get home, and I want to get home with my lower limbs in perfect condition. So I was looking for the highest level of protection after using these boots. And I think what started to bother me is just that I felt that these boots, they were too soft. You see here? I just realized there is even a hole here, it's ripping, but they were just too soft. Comparing to the Tech 7, I don't have the Tech 7, I sold them. I sold them so I could afford to buy these ones. I would say that the Tech 7, they're much closer to the O'Neill than they are to the Sg22. Really noticeable. And what I really mean is just this collapse in here. Okay, also on the Tech 7, there's just no way, okay, that is comparable to this one. No way. It's a much stiffer boot, and it just holds this lateral movement, and the torsion that you can have when you're wearing these boots is extremely limited. It really gives you this sense of safety. Have I had a major crash with these boots, a major accident with these boots? No, I have not. But I trust my gut feelings in here. It just has to protect more, because all of this strength, and I'm going to get the boots off and just show to you how tough it is to bend these boots, and I'm not even sure I can do that. They must offer a higher level of protection. It's extremely thick. The shin protection is thicker. So I definitely feel that I'm getting more protection in here. That is also from the top part of the boot. It is harder, much harder. I'll show to you in details in here. And also the flex that you get from the sole. Okay, so this flex in here, it's on a different level. So I am convinced, even though I have not had a major accident with these boots, I am convinced that they are going to offer me a better level of protection, more than any boot I have worn so far. Now, one thing that I was very concerned is if I was going to be able to adapt to these boots and also be able to just be agile when riding my motorcycle. And there is definitely an adaptation period, for sure. The part where I had to adapt the most it was just the ankle flex, right? So to step on the brake and also to shift gears, it holds your ankle much more. So this movement is really much more limited. Just to give a simple example, to just step on the brake, I have to much more use my entire leg. I cannot just rely on flexing my ankle and expect that that's enough. I really have to kind of use my upper leg in here to then use the brake. So I'm using my entire leg. And it's the same for shifting gears. I can shift down, but to shift up, see, it's very hard to put my feet underneath. That's not possible. So I have to use my leg here, the upper part of my leg, of my thighs, to go underneath, and then I push up like this. See? Down, it's okay. And down, what I'm doing, I'm not like actually flexing my ankles like this. I'm just really stepping on it. You just step, and to go down, go here, push up like this. It is trickier when you're standing up. So now I'm standing up. To shift down, always no problem because you just step. But to go underneath, you really have to use your legs. So in other words, you have to get your feet off the pegs. This idea of just, I'm gonna be lazy and just have my foot here on the pegs and then use, that's not gonna happen, especially if when you are standing on the motorcycle. The good news is that you get adapted to this. The first time, right, the first ride with these boots, I was missing to shift gears. I was missing, I was looking, I had to look what I was doing just to kind of understand. But this was the first ride and probably the first few minutes, right? As soon your brain picks this up extremely fast, that's just not gonna work. You're limited physically, so then I started adapting. So now I don't even think about it anymore. Then you have not only I'm gonna call this comfort when you're riding, but it's also the fact, how is it to be riding on these boots for 6-7 hours? And I've done that. So I think the longest I've ridden with these boots, it was about 7 hours in a day so far. And I did not take them off at all. Okay, so I was just riding 7 hours. The first ride, and here again, I don't know if I got used to it or if it's the boot that is just going to the breaking in period. I don't know what it is, but now they are reasonably comfortable. They are definitely not as comfortable as the O'Neill or the Tech 7. They are not. And right now I can feel that they're holding me. I can feel that, but it got much better. On my first ride in particular, I got blisters, and that was not a good sign. I was very concerned, but on a place where I think you wouldn't notice. I'm just gonna take the O'Neill in here to show to you where I got blisters, to give an idea. Where you have this on the Sg22, you see this boot doesn't have any pivoting mechanism in here, right? It's just a straight up boot, okay? So when you are flexing here, it's really, you are flexing the whole material. On the Sg22, probably because they are so stiff, they have to add this pivoting mechanism. And on the inside, okay, here on the inside around this part, there is kind of I suppose it's plastic. There's a hard material, which is then making this pivoting mechanism. And this thing was pressing against the side of my calf, and I got blisters. I didn't even realize. I was just riding, and then I got home, removed, boom, I had blisters. So that was a problem. But it happened one time. Right? So this was my first long ride after I had the initial trial. This happened, and never again. But I've changed one thing, and I think this has helped. I usually like to ride with very thin and short socks. What I'm doing now, I'm riding with long socks, and they're a little bit thicker. They're not too thick, but they're a little bit thicker. And I'm convinced that this has helped a lot. So you might consider this. With this out of the way, I can be on these boots the whole day. Are these boots for you to walk around, to be a tourist? No, they are not. But that's not what I'm looking for. So if you're looking for a pair of boots where you're riding a couple of hours, and then you get to a city, and then you just want to be a tourist and walk around on the same riding boots, these are not the boots to do that. Then you should get to a hotel, change to your sneakers, make yourself comfortable, and then you go be a tourist. These are boots for riding. They are boots for riding. With that said, would I feel comfortable if for whatever reason I get myself stuck in a place when I'm out riding and now I need to walk 1 hour on these boots? Could I do that? I could walk. I think I could walk even longer than 1 hour, but I don't think that they're made for that, but I could do it. So that's positive. Now, what about the buckles? Best buckles I've ever used, by far. Also compared to the Alpine Stars, Tech 7 and Tech 10, I really like these buckles, best ones. So, how can I tell you? They're just solid. See here? They're just extremely solid. To adjust them is very simple. All of them, right? It's really good. So buckles, best system of buckles I've ever used. So let me get the boots off to show you how it's to flex these boots. So you can see how easy it is to get them off. So here you can see the socks that I'm using. See, so now I use longer socks. Now, here it's really, I think, the part you're going to be surprised in a positive way. So I'm going to try to flex these boots, okay, to just bend them here. Not exaggerating, this is for real. Okay? Now, compared to this, okay, I can do it like this. It's just no way. Okay? It's just not possible. And even when I use like this, so just make your own conclusion. It's on a different level, okay? And it's the same, not only the lateral movement, but also back and forward. Okay, so here, so they have this hinge mechanism, so you can bring them forward to a certain level, but once they get there, it's just not gonna go. And that's just not the case in here. Okay? It's just not gonna happen. Now to pull this one here back, impossible. It's impossible. So that's what I'm talking about. This is exactly, I think that's the perfect example you can see. The next thing is going to be the sole, okay? Probably can try to do it here. Look at this. I can do it, okay, like this. But this is hard compared to this one. Of course you cannot, hopefully you can catch this on the video, but with one hand like this, can do it, but it takes a lot more effort, Here on the side, to crush the boot, not possible. There's just no way. I know I cannot do this, and I don't think I can do with this one, to be fair. This wouldn't be possible, neither with this one to crush. And now if I just step on it, okay, I can put my whole body weight and it will just not collapse, okay? It will not collapse. This one, it collapses everything. What about if you have wide feet? If you had wide feet, definitely recommended. It has a very wide toe box. I would say it feels to me wider than this one. And just, well, let's see, I have to take my word for it, but my fingers, my toes, they are not being pressed from the side. Absolutely not, nothing. Okay, so they are definitely spread out inside, and I really like that. So it's a wide toe box. But being wide, it's not everything. One thing is the width, right? And the other thing is how high, so your arch of your foot. And I think that's something with me, I have this also with other shoes. My left foot has a higher arch, so the top of my foot, it's higher, and this was a problem with SG22 that I could fix, luckily. Let me show to you what I have done. So if you look here on the right side, look at the color of this strap, okay? The strap of this buckle is the white one, and here on top is the gray one. On the left side, I have the gray one at the bottom and the white one at the top. The reason is I needed to switch them. So I had to take the gray strap for my calf and put it in here, so I had more adjustment, because these ones, they are very short. They are very short, see? So I didn't have enough adjustment. You can just see it in here. Look how much more adjustment I need. So I took this one and I put it here to get enough adjustment, because it was hurting me. This one was really hurting me. Now, silly comment to make in here, the squeaking noise. Every video talks about the squeaking noise. Yes, they squeak a lot. I think you can probably hear just from me walking around. But I'm not going to make any criticism about the squeaking, because for me, I don't care. So I really don't care. I know that you could put some silicone. I think some guys are putting silicone spray on the moving parts. I don't bother with that. But if that's an issue for you, maybe check some other videos. There might be a solution. For instance, just putting silicone, but I don't mind. This is a rubberized material and it's super sticky, really sticky. And you can see here on my motorcycle, because it's actually getting the decals, so the decals out of my motorcycle. So this here and this here, this is after I started riding with these boots. It's the same on the opposite side, but look, they stick a lot, and I like this when I'm riding, especially when you're standing up. You really grip to the motorcycle. Very positive, this in here. And there's also the same material here down below. This is, of course, if you're riding with pants that go inside the boot. If it's over the boot, well, then you're losing this grippy panel. I think the real question after saying all of this is, would I recommend to another rider, and would I buy it again? Hands down, yes. I mean, this is by far the best pair of motorcycle boots I have ever owned. It has some limitations, as I mentioned here on the video, but overall, I'm willing to do this trade-off. So the comfort that I've lost with the safety that I've gained, I'm doing this trade-off at any time. For the price, it's $500, 500 euro plus. It's a very expensive boot. It's definitely an investment. So I'm taking here the word from other riders. There are other people who have reviewed these boots, and they could last up to a decade in here. And that's what I'm hoping. I really hope that's going to be the case. I look at my O'Neills, that's the one I have in here. They are already ripping there on the side. Yeah, I paid 120 euro, $120 for them, so they are much cheaper. But after one season of riding, they already start to show the signs that they wouldn't last that long. So I hope very much it will be at least 5 years from these boots. Then I got my money back for sure. That's it. If you still have any questions after watching this video, I hope I was able to pass to you the message how is to wear these boots for real. But if you still have any questions, you can just leave a comment down below. I'll definitely read every comment and reply to you the best I can. Bye bye. See you guys. Ride safe.